Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. This channel is a sacred cache of wisdom created to help direct the deepest parts of your being towards healing, growth, and alignment with your highest self. If you have stopped by and you're watching, you have given me consent, you've given me the ability to connect with your energy. So thank you. Enjoy. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle tonight. I hope you guys are well. This is my third time trying to record this video. For some reason, it just starts off on mute. So I'm just talking away and then I notice it's on mute. So here we go. 3 is actually one of my favorite numbers, 3 and 7. And so third time's a charm. Let's see. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle this evening. I hope you guys are getting off to a good start to your week. I would ask that you take a moment and get comfortable. Feel free to like the video. Feel free to comment on the video. Feel free to share it. If you feel called, there may be other people that need to hear the message. You could also subscribe. If you've yet to subscribe, consider hitting the bell so you'll be notified when we post new content or when I go live. Also, I would just like to remind you not to try to make this reading fit. It is a reading for the collective. That means it's going to be tapping into a lot of energy that's passing through and watching, stopping by. And so it may or may not resonate. Don't feel like you have to make it fit, okay? There'll be other videos coming after this one. You may find other videos that I posted before this one that may resonate. And so don't pressure yourself, okay? If you would like a personal reading, you can either email me or you can go over to my calendar and schedule over there as well, okay? How y'all doing tonight? You guys okay? I hope you had a beautiful Mother's Day. It was beautiful. It's always a beautiful thing to be able to celebrate those that have come before us and those that have brought us into the world. And so I hope it was a pleasurable, enjoyable, relaxing day that was filled with love for you all. Okay, so let's take a look. We're looking at 5 major themes of life right now. We're going to be looking at work, love, home, personal, and spiritual energies around you right now. And I'm going to ask that we're going to invite in all of the information available to assist us here. We want to ask that spirit, our ancestors, spirit guides, archangels, source, even your higher self would tap in here and bring forth the information that's needed right now for us. Okay. Thank you. Please and thank you. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope you all are well. Get comfortable. So for work, we have lovers. Because I have to start so many times, I already have my cards out. I hope that's okay. For work, we have lovers that came out. And so you could find yourself making some major decisions around work right now. For some of you, there could be major connections or partnerships, very high level partnerships that you are working with right now when it comes to work. But I feel more so there's some very important decisions that you're navigating right now when it comes to work. That's the energy I'm feeling with the lovers. There's some things that are happening around work that is causing you to be very proactive right now. When we talked about love, Temperance came out when I called on the energy of love. And so right now, things could be moving really slow. Things could feel just really at peace and very calm and grounded and balanced when it comes to love. And if for some reason it's not, this is a time where there's some things that are possibly being worked out or maybe even experimenting on what would work or what, needs to happen in order for, the love part of your energy to be in alignment or be balanced. It's all about balance. So there's something being balanced out. We'll find out more about that. When we looked at home, we have the Hermit here. For some of you, you could be in this energy where you're not really going out much. This has been your sanctuary. For some of you, you may be coming into this energy where you'll be at home a lot more for some reason. But I do feel this sense of seclusion when it comes to home. It feels very spiritual. and very sacred, right? There could be different things that you're doing around the home right now that's causing you to be more in the home, and it's causing more of a spiritual atmosphere at home. It could be rituals, it could be more meditation, more prayer. It just feels like home is being taken care of really well right now and being occupied. We also have personal, and we have the Emperor for your personal energy. Again, as I stated earlier, I feel like you're taking a really strong, proactive approach to life right now. When we talk about the Emperor, we're talking about approaching life when it comes to your personal energy from a very autonomous standpoint. You could be in a position where you have some very important roles that you're operating in when it comes to your personal life, because it feels like you're in some energy of leadership when it comes to your personal life. And there's some great responsibility that you have when it comes to your personal life. And that could speak about anything. It could be kids, it could be someone being connected to you, looking for direction and provision. It just feels like you're in a very important space right now as it pertains to your personal life with the Emperor here. People may be very dependent upon you right now as well, or you may be just in this very sovereign energy when it comes to your personal life. It could be either or, like being very independent, leading a charge on your path. But I also feel like there's some leadership role that's being, occupied right now when it comes to your personal life. But we'll delve into that as well. And then right next to the Emperor, we have the Empress for your spiritual life. And so your practical life, which is the personal part, feels very active and very proactive, very leadership oriented, and very direct too. Feels like you may be very busy in a lot of the areas of your personal life. Whereas the spiritual, it feels like you're in more of a postured position where you're receiving right now, which makes sense because that Hermit card came out for home. It feels like there's a lot of spiritual activity that you are engaging in right now. And you may be receiving some very important, I'm hearing downloads right now, some very important instructions, some very important, changes and things that are operating in your spiritual life right now. It feels very active, but in a way where you're receiving a lot right now. So we'll take a look at more of these energies here. And let's go ahead and start clarifying. Overall, it feels like right now, life feels, overall, it's good. I don't see any problems that are sticking out right now immediately, but we'll definitely clarify here. We're going to clarify here. There is a lot to be seen because on the bottom of the deck, I have the Moon for my first part of this spread. And so the Moon says that there's a lot that is yet to be seen. There may be some things that you don't see coming or things that you don't know of yet that are happening or is about to happen for you. You may have questions that you don't have the answers to at the moment. That's causing you to be a little bit inquisitive and possibly even searching. This is also the energy. I do feel a heavy level of spiritual energy right now. For some of you, you could just be very intuitive right now at this point in time. I think in most of the encouragement of the day readings I've done, Pluto has come out a lot, and the 8th house has come out a lot. Pluto is actually or Taurus is in Pluto, or Pluto is in Taurus. And so there's, I don't know why I am losing my frame of thought. Let me just pull it out so I'm speaking the right information. This is a time where there's a lot of inspiration happening around you, and there's a lot of preparation to do what needs to be done, right? Pluto calls you forward to surrender in places where you might be making transitions. and being willing to do what needs to be done, in any situation when it comes to um, making sacrifices for what it is that you want. So there's some things that are forming right now. And so you might be in some parts of your life be at like a point where you're like in between. You're not quite where you were, but not quite where you're going. You're like in that point of in between here. That may be what the moon is pointing to. And you may not necessarily be aware of that you are in the middle of this transition, depending on how attuned you are with this process. And so some of you may be aware of it, some of you may not. But let's go ahead and start with work. And we have lovers here for work. And so Spirit, give us more information. Lovers for work. All right. So far, you could be a Libra, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Sagittarius, a Gemini. Those are the energies that are showing up here so far. Or you could have that anywhere in your charts. You could be dealing with these signs or interacting with these signs as well. So I feel a lot of communication happening right now as it pertains to work. Those communications could be coming in, not all of them. We have the Four of Swords here. So someone could be getting some type of communication, letting them know they are being laid off. That's what I'm sensing here for someone. But there could be some compensations coming around that as well. Because I don't see this affecting you negatively. We have the Four of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles, which says that whatever transition this is, whatever communication this is, like you will be steady. You'll be able to handle this. You'll be able to handle this appropriately without a problem. I dropped a card. For someone, that could be what's happening here. And so with that being said, there could be certain decisions that will need to be made right now as far as how you decide to move forward, what that looks like. And so definitely, I would say that that's some major decision making here, because whatever decision may in fact have a huge impact on life moving forward. And so I do see that there's decisions around things like finances, possibly jobs, positions, things like that. Yeah, and so that's what I'm seeing. Anything else for the lovers? But it seems like you will be in a position where it's not going to be like a major, it's not like it's going to be like a tower moment and just knock you off. The Queen of Pentacles is good, is solid, and is very responsible. And I feel like being that the Queen of Pentacles came out, this may be something that you already know and has anticipated here. And you may already be making certain decisions and arrangements, because the Queen of Pentacles is very much, that kind of energy. It's all about balance and staying grounded and being prepared and responsible. So I totally see you kind of being ahead of the game and preparing for this. So if you already know that this is happening, you may be in that mindset of already making moves in this way. Okay. And then I also have the Queen of Swords and the Three of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Someone may be getting some offers that may be a part of what you're deciding. You may already be entertaining other job offers right now, or opportunities. And so I do have the Queen of Swords followed by the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. And so the Queen of Swords is that same kind of energy, being prepared. The Queen of Swords, very resourceful and doesn't wait for things to happen, because the Queen of Swords very much needs to be in a position of being able to really navigate effectively. The Queen of Swords can be a bit of a wanting to be in control. And so this says that you are already planning and possibly gathering information, right? And getting ready for this transition. I do feel like whatever this is, the transition, I feel like for many of you is actually going to land you in a higher position, or something that has more, offers more responsibility or more opportunities to do more than you're doing now. There's some expansion that this change is going to bring in, or this decision that you're making around this change. That's what I'm seeing. For the Lovers in work. And then we have the Eight of Cups on the bottom. Yeah, this is going to be a level up. And so that's why it's not coming through as negative, because it's not, right? Sometimes things come in to move us. Otherwise, we would never move. But there's also something in the moving that's much better than where we were, right? It's almost like trading comfort for expansion, right? But sometimes that's uncomfortable and it's just a hassle. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like moving. It's just such a hassle to uproot everything and move it, and so it's almost like it's a hassle, but it has to be done in this situation. And you may be glad that you did it, because there's a more fortunate situation that you'll end up on the other side of this, okay? So let's take a look at Temperance here for love. Okay. And we have the Queen of Cups coming out here with the Knight of Wands. I feel like someone is being guided when it comes to love right now. With the Temperance, it does feel like things could be very slow. When it comes to love, things could be very balanced. You could be in an energy of being very graceful with your connection if you're in a connection, possibly trying different things. It does feel like a very responsible energy, even if there was like challenges, right? The approach to the challenge is a responsible one. And the Queen of Cups, followed by the Knight of Wands, is guiding you, or you may be guided or led to really tune into yourself as you move forward. Prioritize yourself in this relationship, or when it comes to love, whether you're in a relationship or not. The Queen of Cups is all about understanding on a deep level what love is, and that starts with self. And so it definitely feels like they're saying to prioritize yourself through this process, whatever that is. If you're looking for love, waiting for it to come in, maybe you're dating out there and you're trying different, things when it comes to dating, whatever that is, the message is coming through that they want you to put yourself first, to prioritize yourself here. Whether you end up in a relationship or not, whether you're already in a relationship, prioritize yourself as you move forward here. And whatever it is that you're looking for when it comes to love, prioritize yourself. I feel like they're giving you the green light to move forward towards it, whatever it is that you're wanting or that you're working for. But there's the very significant message to put yourself first, to prioritize yourself. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. For love, we have the Temperance here. The Temperance here for love. Okay, so we have two sevens. 7, 7. So this feels very spiritual. Again, as I was saying, sevens are my favorite number. One of them, for me, sevens ring this very spiritual energy. It's very spiritual energy. There's something very reflective right now about love for you. For some of you, you may be seeking some information or doing some kind of assessment when it comes to love, but it feels very spiritual. You could be aligning your spiritual values with what it is that you're looking for in a partner or a mate. When it comes to the sevens, I do feel like you're operating in a great deal of wisdom too when it comes to love right now. And, that could be like having, had a lot of experience. You actually know what it is that you want, what you're looking for. And so you're operating in what it is that you know when it comes to love. Now, when it comes to the two energies, the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords, right now, as you are working some things out through this temperance energy, right? It could be within yourself, it could be within your connection. There is the understanding of needing to value and guard yourself with the Seven of Wands. It's almost like where you have allowed yourself to learn from your lessons and build this bit of wisdom, right? Guard that. That is very valuable energy that you have actually pulled in for yourself. And where you've allowed yourself to be brought to, value that, guard that. Don't bring yourself down. And I feel like they're saying not to compromise, not to lower your standards, but actually, this is a time to allow people to rise up to the occasion, right? Allow them to rise up to where you are. Don't come down, don't lower your standards. There may be something for some of you with the Seven of Swords that says that there is something to be aware of that may be operating in the background when it comes to love. That Moon card is on the bottom. So I feel like there is definitely some stuff that's brewing in the background that you may not be aware of. And so there could be things with the Seven of Swords that you don't see, that you're not aware of, that's happening in the background when it comes to love. That's why they want you to stand your ground with that Seven of Wands. Keep your standards high, okay, no matter what's happening. Keep your standards high, and this is not a time to compromise, okay? That's what I'm seeing for love. I do feel like some of you with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom could be learning new things. You could be actually stretching when it comes to love. Yeah. Yeah. And I do feel a heavy spiritual energy. I'm going to say that again when it comes to love. And so there's something about your values. I feel like that's on the table here when it comes to love. That's kind of what the temperance is alchemizing. It's trying to find, temperance is really trying to find the right balance here, or there's some specific code, right, that's being searched for with the temperance. And so there's something you're searching for when it comes to love, some specific knowledge or information or wisdom that you are dealing with when it comes to love, because it feels spiritual. Temperance is always tapping into Archangel Michael energy. I feel like when it comes to love, you could be very protected right now, and you could have some help coming in right now as well. For some of you, it could be a very beautiful time with these yellow flowers in the back. And yellow for me always represents this very vibrant, happy energy that's possible, right? And so there's some good things that's happening as things are being balanced when it comes to love for you. I feel like there's some specific key elements that are being dealt with when it comes to love for you. Now, when we look at home, we have the Hermit here coming out for home. And I do feel like home, again, I was saying this very spiritual energy when it comes to home for you. You may find yourself, for some of you that have been home for a while, you may find yourself kind of branching out, back out, and bringing what it is that you have cultivated while you've been at home. You're bringing that out to the world and sharing that. For those of you that have not been hermited, I feel like you're coming into that energy right now, but it's the purpose for it. You're not just staying at home, but there's a purpose to why home is very important right now. You're taking care of something in the home. Why is Hermit here for home? Yeah, there's something drawing your attention to home, something that you need to take care of. Again, feeling an element of spiritual energy or seeking answers for things that need your attention in the home. And so the Page of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands all carry this energy of needing to get something done, needing to do something. Yeah. And it may be a huge job, and that may be why you'll find yourself at home for a bit. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's work. The King of Wands is all in that energy of work and doing and making things happen. And it's around some idea that you have. For some of you, you could be doing like remodeling and getting that energy. For others, you're resetting the energy and the atmosphere of the home. There's something that really needs to be dealt with in the home. And so you'll be more focused and attended in the home. For some of you, you could be cultivating some business through the home. You're moving it to the home and operating out of the home with the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Wands and the Page of Cups. You're creating something or building something right there out of your home. And it could be spiritual. It could be something that you're offering that has some spiritual element to it. Why is the Hermit here for home for my viewers? Again, we have the Four of Swords and the Eight of Wands. Now, for those of you that will be moving from that hermit mode out, that's this energy, right? Moving out of the Four of Wands energy back into let's get active, let's move, right? And so for those of you that have already been in this energy, you're shifting out of that energy when it comes to home. You won't be at home a lot because you're coming out of that hermit mode now. You have already did what it is that you were called to do. And now you're shifting back out into the world. Okay. For some of you, you will be traveling quite a bit here during the summer months. It's the best time to do it. The Eight of Wands talks about travel. For some of you, your being at home a lot had something to do with you not being well, health-wise, and that has just been resolved. And so now that you're back on your feet and now that you're better, now you'll be transitioning back out, right? For some of you, that was the reason why you were kind of in that very secluded yet very heavy spiritual energy. I feel like for some of you, you spent that time really getting close to the divine. And I feel like you're going to be surprised how you connect to people when you get back out. You have a lot to offer. You have a lot to give and to share, after this time. Something about that time of healing that you spent that was very significant. And I feel like you were given a lot of information that's going to be valuable for people that you run into, okay? And people that come looking for you. You'll have something for them. I'm not talking about money, okay? Let's keep going. And when I look at the personal energy, the Emperor came out for personal energy, which says that you are very much, in your power when it comes to your personal life. For some of you, that could mean that you are in a very important position when it comes to those that are connected to you. They look to you. You are someone's central point of resource, protection, guidance, direction. Okay. The Emperor is actually a paternalistic energy. And so for some of you, if you are, a father, this could be the major theme of your personal life right now. Could be all about fatherhood and doing and providing what a father does. But let's get some more energy, okay? Doesn't mean that you have to be a man. Let's see. What is the energy behind this Emperor for my viewers' personal life right now. It's good energy. Definitely the provider here. We have the Ten of Pentacles coming out. Definitely the provider. So I'm going to keep these cards. They turned over. So I have the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Okay. And so the Ten of Pentacles, along with the Four of Swords and the Seven of Cups, I feel like for some of you, you could be this masculine energy. For some of you, you could be the one who has, been, getting on their feet and about to get back out. For some of you, someone could have been taking care of you, right? You could be someone that has been taking care of their father. You could be that father. But this Emperor energy, when it comes to your personal life, there's a lot of responsibility that you have right now to care and to provide and to protect and to nurture. I'm getting that with this Four of Swords. It feels like someone is taking care of someone. And being in a position where you don't have a lot of wiggle room because so many people are depending upon you, or someone is depending upon you on a very heavy level. And so what you give your time and your energy to is very limited with the Seven of Cups. It's very limited, and it's the energy of being careful, of what it is that you're doing with your time. Let's see. That's too many. Why is the Emperor here for my viewer's personal life? And I feel like for some of you, this is a time where you are not really available to a lot of people because you are so focused in on what it is that, your responsibilities, the people that are depending upon you. You hardly even have time to respond, to phone calls or to invite anyone else over for a visit. Like, you don't have a lot of time. Like, you only have so much that you can divvy out. And so you have to be really careful with what it is that you choose to invest your energy, your resources, however that works. You're very careful of that right now. And so you may not be out a lot. You may not do a lot of socializing because you're busy taking care of your responsibility. Okay. Yeah. I also have the Five of Pentacles followed by the Nine of Cups. Now, for somebody, this is different. Somebody has taken the bull by the horns to change something very specific about their situation. And I feel like you've stepped into a leadership role in your own life to change your situation with this Five of Pentacles, skipping over to the Nine of Cups. That Emperor is talking about the energy that you stepped into, that you're in right now, to make things happen for yourself, to change things that you're no longer willing to accept. Yeah. I feel a very thankful energy too. If you are caring for someone else, I would say that they are very lucky. They're very lucky to have someone willing to make the sacrifice that you've made. Yeah. So your personal life right now, whether you are someone caring for someone else or you've just stepped in this very leadership, dominant role in your own life, I almost feel like you're no longer waiting for other people to step in and do things that you can do for yourself. The Emperor is getting things done. Okay. And so the Five of Pentacles says that there's something changing with your outlook, something changing possibly with your health, something changing with your finances. Your outlook is positive. You're leading with your outlook, right? That's part of why it's changing too. And so very beautiful energy personally with the Emperor. So that's what I'm seeing. And then we're going to take a look at the Empress for your spiritual energy right now. People, I'm hearing that people are wondering where you are and why you don't come out no more. They don't understand the responsibility that you have taken on. Why is the Empress here for my viewers' spiritual energy right now? Ten of Pentacles again. So I want to say that your personal and your spiritual life is married right now. There's something very interesting, being that the Emperor comes out with your personal life. That's things that are important to you in the practical sense. It could be people, it could be things, that you're engaging in that takes up time and energy. And then the Empress comes out in your spiritual life. It is how you are seeing yourself, how you're seeing your source, how you're interacting spiritually. These are married together. One is very outgoing and one is very receptive, but these are divine counterparts. And so these two parts of your life are very much intertwined right now. One influences the other as the other influences the one, right? They're very much interlinked and intertwined. And so for the Empress, for spirituality, I have the Eight of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles again. There's something very interesting here, because the 10 of Pentacles came out with the Emperor. And it also comes out with the Empress along with the Eight of Cups. There's something changing. So if you were the second half of that message for the Emperor, where you stepped into this leadership role to change some things that you were tired of, it's like, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself, right? This is you. This is you changing things. This Empress energy is not one that will actually go out. I feel like you're actually multifaceted. There's several things that is being highlighted about you. The fact that you are a go-getter, like you don't wait, or you're not right now. But there's also this other element about you where you are manifesting and attracting and calling things in, right? And so there's this balance that's happening that's actually rather fascinating. It's rather beautiful. And what you're calling in is actually allowing you to walk away from what was as you actually move up. I feel like there's a transition taking place when we got the Five of Pentacles, right? There's something that's changing. You're moving. And you are possibly ascending spiritually, but you may also be learning something new or taking on some new challenge or some new perspective, some new position. You're leaving something behind to embark on something new to further your spiritual experience or your spiritual journey. And whatever that is that you are walking away from and moving towards is actually going to be very beneficial, because it leads to the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles. So both aspects are actually showing a lot of work that you've put in, that you will reap, that you'll be able to enjoy. That's very beneficial for you. Yeah. There's something very interesting that's happening spiritually. You've walked away from something to walk towards something else that actually is going to be very beneficial for you. And useful and enjoyable, right? We talk about the tens, we're talking about a completion of something. And even though we're talking about spirituality, Pentacles talks about being like having this overall sense of wealth, but even more important, this overall sense of health. There's something about your health that's going to skyrocket. It's coming to completion. And if you are someone that has dealt with like, sickness or whatever, the fact that you have gravitated so heavily towards your spiritual values, and it has become this very essential part of your life, is going to work miracles, right? This 10 of Pentacles brings you to, just the top of health. I think that's what that is saying. What else for this Empress? You're receiving in so many different ways. What else for this Empress? And you'll get your strength back, right? There's something about your spiritual healing that's going to be very practical, but at the same time, it's going to give you your strength back. The more you pour in and strengthen yourself spiritually, it's almost like you're going to be strengthening and, reviving yourself physically. Yeah. So I have the 10 of Wands, followed by the Ace of Wands. And so whatever the burden was, right, you're receiving, they are actually bringing in with this Ace of Wands a new beginning. And so you're going to get another chance to do something that you've been wanting or desiring to do. And because things have been heavy, I get the sense that things have been heavy. You've been through some difficulties here and there. And even the carrying of burdens, carrying of even others' burdens right now. That just may be what it is. And it's very heavy. But there's going to be, I feel like they're going to give you not a reward, but you'll be paid for that. I don't know what better way to say it, right? You're going to trade in the burdens for this sense of empowerment, and this enlightenment, something about this experience that's going to bring you out on the other side, just completely empowered and changed, even seeing things differently as well. I'm hearing new sight. Somebody will be receiving new sight. Like you won't see things the same anymore. Spiritually, this is what's happening. What you are receiving through the Empress energy. A new beginning. A powerful new beginning, right? And for those of you that know, the Temperance is a transmuter, an alchemizer, being able to change difficult energy into energy that works for us, right? So this 10 of Wands is being transmuted over into the Ace of Swords, power, knowledge, sight, vision. That's what they're given. Okay. So spiritually, there is a lot happening. There's some transitions taking place. There may be a little heaviness that's being felt, but it's it's going to work for you, right? It's going to lead to your strength and to your breakthrough. Someone may end up even having an awakening here spiritually right now. That may be what's happening. Yeah. So a lot of interesting energy. I do see major themes around choices that you're making right now. Let's see. Spiritually. That Ace of Swords, this process that you're in right now, for some of you, you are pregnant. And I don't mean literally, some of you could be pregnant, but this is more so you're giving birth to something, to new perspective. You're giving birth to something. And it's almost like you have carried the baby and you are in labor right now. Right now, you're having labor pains spiritually. You're about to give birth to this new strength, this new energy. You're about to trade in those labor pains, those chronic pains for the new that's coming, the new vision, the awakening. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab let's see, a few cards to end this out for encouragement. That's what's happening in work, love, in the home, in your personal energy, and your spiritual energy. So if things are feeling heavy right now spiritually, know that's why you're about to give birth. For some of you, you are the baby that's about to come out of the birth canal. Things are tumultuous because you are about to be born. All right. What last messages of encouragement do we have for our viewer today? Please and thank you, Spirit. And thank you for that information. What else do we need to know as we end out this reading here today? What else do my viewers need to know? Okay. Thank you for all of the information that came out today. I'm manifesting that it reaches whoever needs to hear it and that it does not fall on deaf ears, okay? Deaf ears. So we have illusion, letting go, acceptance, and inner power. And so first of all, the advice is not to set intentions that you don't follow up on for someone or that you don't surrender to. Because that would be called delusional, right? To set the intention without surrendering to it is a fast pace to delusion. So Spirit is warning against that. If you set an intention, make sure that you follow it with action, even if it's a little bitty bit of action at a time, right? Follow it with action. Follow up on your intention, okay? Otherwise, you're just running in circles, not really making, any gain there. I don't know who that's for. Maybe there's something that related to this message around your intention. Spirit is saying follow up with action. That's the most important part, okay? Letting go came out next. This is submitting to the fact that control is just an illusion. We never really have control. But what we do is we learn to surrender to the divine, to source, to the universe, to God, our creator, because we understand that there is a higher sense of power above our power, right? We like to say we're autonomous and sovereign, but the fact is there is a higher autonomy and there is a higher sovereignty that we give over to. That's why we call it co-creating, because we're being allowed to enter into that process, which is a beautiful thing. But without the connection with source, we're limited. and shortcut if we really want to be real. And so letting go just reminds us to understand that there is, in fact, a higher power that is leading this thing. Okay. And we don't have to feel like we are God, because we're not. We can let go and let God. Okay. The next advice, whoever that's for, okay, let it go. Let it go. Okay. The next piece of advice is acceptance, radical acceptance, right? Is talking about being able to flow with life, being open to that flow, or acceptance is what opens that flow. Just imagine a body of water, how it runs the same way. And, it's smooth. Everything gets to where it's supposed to go because of the flow, right? Imagine that being life for us and not really needing an oar or, a motor. We could just submit to the flow and it takes us wherever we're meant to be, right? So there's something about accepting what is right now. There's a beautiful saying that I love that I'm always reminded of, and it's a prayer, or it could be a meditation, however you want to, address that. But it says to help me to, give me, what does it say? Give me serenity to accept the things that I can't change. Give me the strength to change the things that I can, and then give me the wisdom. Give me the wisdom to know the difference. Okay. So there's something about accepting this moment, and we can kind of think of it like that. Just asking like for the guidance and the wisdom in this situation and the ability to accept it when we receive that. Okay. And then lastly, we have inner power. It has a lion, which also we know that relates to courage. And we're talking about doing what needs to be done, challenging ourselves through life. It could get a little scary sometimes. It could get a little challenging. We can get a little comfortable, right? There is some things that are happening here in this reading. We were talking about someone needing to make some very important decisions. And to really be honest, we may not want to do it. We may want to stay right where we are, but sometimes life doesn't give us that choice, right? It moves us whether we want to move or not. But we're asking for the courage to do what needs to be done, okay? And so I'm asking that for my viewers, whoever this resonated with, that you, assist them in whatever part of this message resonated and help them to understand how to apply the information that they've been given and where to go from here. Yeah, that's what we're asking. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening. And it's always a pleasure to be able to read for you all. I don't take it lightly. And so thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's an easy way to support the channel, and it doesn't cost anything, right? You can like, you can share, you can comment, right? All of those things help the channel to grow and possibly even to reach those that need to hear it too. If you've yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. If you find yourself subscribing, make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified in case we go live or post other content like this, okay? All right. And that's the reading for tonight. And it was a pleasure, always a pleasure to be in your energy and to read for you. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Until next time, Blood Moon Oracle here. You all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.